Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Harleen, issue number 3 of 3. This is DC's Black Label. We're going to get right into this final issue right now. We've got Gabriella Downey doing the letters. Harley Quinn was created by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. You might be asking, well, who did the story and the art and the cover and the variant cover? Well, that would be Stefan Sajic. Guys, this is an amazing end to an overall unbelievably good book. Okay, remember, aside from the lettering and the creation of the character, everything was done by one person. This is one man's vision of a character that, wow, wow. So, listen, all throughout this book, we are getting further of what we already got with this storyline. And what is the storyline as a whole? It's basically about Harley's downfall. It's about Harley sinking deeper into the mindset of a killer, a crazy person, someone essentially on par yet different from the Joker. How did all of this happen? We've always had these books that are just like, okay, here's a little thing here, here's a little thing there. We get like a half an hour TV episode of her, going down the track to becoming Harley Quinn, Harleen. We get all these miniature stories, little flashbacks. We got the Suicide Squad, that little thing there. It was all just brushed together. And this is something that has always deserved a full-on story arc. Now, I know this is only 3 issues, but they're double-sized issues. You know what I'm saying? So it's technically 3 issues worth. This is an entire arc based on the first half of her downfall. Why do I say that? Well, we need room for a sequel, right? We don't actually see how she gets the white skin. Maybe in Stefan Sajic's mind, it's just makeup. I mean, she does wear the full body suit where realistically only her face is showing, right? Well, duh, that could just be makeup then if that's the case. It's not that big of a deal. Or maybe she did go down that vat of chemicals, right after Joker did. Who knows? Who knows? At the end of the day, this is this first half of the story. Up until the part where, and mind you, this has been said from the beginning of the first issue, up until the part where she commits her first murder. And that is the track where there is no coming back, or at least there hasn't been so far. This was a fun issue. We get to see her actually, all of this issue is basically the first half of it leading up to her actually knocking boots with the Joker. Okay? That's a big deal. Honestly, in my head, I was wondering, is Stefan Sajic actually going to go there? Is that actually where he's going to go? Because, in my mind, there's always been the idea of, let's say the Killing Joke, right? Alan Moore. Well, did Joker actually rape Batgirl? There are many who say he did. There are many who say he didn't. All right, and unfortunately, there are also those ridiculously diehard, boneheaded fans who just don't respect anybody else's opinion on this because they're so damn sure of themselves. Give these people any kind of power, that's how wars are started. Men who are so sure of themselves that everybody else is an idiot for disagreeing with them. No, there are multiple different reasons to believe one way or the other. And likewise in this book, I'm playing with my beard a lot because I see that it's kind of coming down a little. I'm going to clip that, even that out. Anyway, there are a lot of different opinions on the Joker, not just amongst readers, but amongst the writers themselves, including amongst the artists. Artists, what does he actually look like, right? Writers, how should he act? What should he say? What are the things he should say? I'm going to refer back to The Killing Joke again, the #1 selling comic book of all time. And The Killing Joke, him making the jokes about, that one joke about, holding the flashlight up and whatnot. The jokes about him, Harvey Dent pulling him out of jail and, oh, hey, don't kill me. Don't hit me with that flashlight. What? Yeah, you're behind me. You're thinking about hitting me with that flashlight, right? Don't do it. What? How did you know I was thinking about that? Because you're the Joker. There were great moments. There are always great moments in every book that you're going to read. Actually, that part wasn't The Killing Joke. But anyway, there's so many different stories out there. For crying out loud, how many stories are there right now, right? You think about this right now. There's Jeff Lemire's Killer Smile, right? A really big portion in here is when Harley smiles for the first time, and in a really long time, in this book at the very least, to the Joker, when he first sees her smile. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this book could have been called Harley, Killer Smile. Well, and that'd have been an interesting juxtaposition, both books coming out at the same time, finishing at the same time. How cool would that be? But it is what it is. This whole entire story is nothing short of a case study of the person doing a case study on the inmates of Arkham, who will eventually become an inmate of Arkham. Fantastic story, fantastic art. Okay, something happened in here which I didn't expect. It was always my opinion that, and this may be a bit of controversy for some people. A lot of people have said that the Joker looks too good in this. I can't argue with that. He does look too good in this. My interpretation of this has been, well, this is simply what Harley sees him as, because reality is simply our perception on life, right? How many different realities are there? Well, how many different people are there in the world? Because everybody's perception is their own reality. So there's that, think about the 7 men standing around the elephant blindfolded. You know what I'm saying? The 7 wise men, they're all going to think it's something different because they don't have the whole picture. Not a single one of them says an elephant. Meanwhile, anybody can see it from across the room. Hey. So, perception is everything. The way that these two work together, it's so good. The way that Harley and Joker work together, it actually makes me believe that they really are genuine about each other. Oh, we're positive that she's genuine towards him, or are we? Because, first off, Sejik does such a great job of making us believe that by the end of the book, when Batman, the world's greatest detective, does a little detective work, a couple months later, and he said, well, actually, this is 3 weeks later, he sees that, he points out the one major part that shows that he's been manipulating her the entire time from the beginning, and it never, ever stopped. Or did it? We don't know. We can't possibly know. Only Stefan Sejik knows, because he's the creator of this. The moment where they meet up with Harvey, fantastic. Where she commits her first murder. No, it's not Harvey. I'm not going to break it to you, but mind you, it's been set up since book 1 that her breaking point would be when she commits her first murder. Okay, cool. So, for me, the big question has been, who is going to be that murderer? And I knew in this book they were going to reveal who it was. Oh, they revealed it all right. Man, this beard thing is really starting to bother me. You guys don't look at this too much. I'm not going to bring too much attention to it anymore. So, with this story, the character of Harvey Dent, Two-Face, plays a huge role in this. When you get to the end, when Harley's writing on the wall in the blood of her first victim, it was genius. There are 3 stages of it. Harley, Harvey, and then what she erases. Okay? I am thoroughly impressed. The story keeps on getting deeper, and it's funny because as you get towards the end, you start to realize the friends that she's made, the friends that she hasn't made in there. A big part of who Harley is her relationship with Pamela Isley, all right? Poison Ivy. You get to see the very beginning of that here. Why didn't it go any further? Well, there does have to be something left for the sequel, right? Guys, I'm going to keep on saying that because this book deserves a sequel. It deserves to be in Black Label. It deserves to be Stefan Sejik. Everybody's got a vision of who these characters are. And I love that he produced this book. You keep on seeing moments in here. You keep on seeing these moments where she starts to doubt herself. She starts to wonder, wait, what the F am I doing? She literally says that. What the F am I doing? What am I thinking? These moments that she keeps on having, these visions of what she wants, but what she is, and what she doesn't want to be, but what she's, obviously, we know she's going to wind up being. Oh my God, the book is beautiful. The book is amazing. There is no nudity. This would be the page if there was. No, there is no nudity in this book. Oh, the part about Joker being too beautiful. It did put me off a little bit that she the only time that we ever see Joker in this is when she's in the room with him. But there is a part later on towards the end of this issue where she's not in the room and somebody else sees the Joker and he's still that good looking. I kind of I was hoping that we would see him in a much uglier face. It didn't happen, unfortunately. Maybe Mr. Stasiak didn't think about that. Maybe he wasn't thinking along those lines. Maybe he thought it would be too confusing to the readers. I don't know, honestly. I think that would have... The only thing that would have made this book better is if the next person who walked in the room and saw him without Harley in there, so this is not technically part of Harley's story, is that he would have been ugly. But we do have to remember the book is called Harleen. This is coming from her. All of this is her recollection of everything that happened. So it could still be that, I'm right, that this is just simply the way that she sees him. And that's it, because this whole thing is from her perspective, including all the different ways that she sees Poison Ivy. God, this book is beautiful, man. This book is beautiful. The story with the executioners, to create an entirely new group. And yet it perfectly fits in with the the mythos of Gotham City. Not only perfectly fits in, it feels like, how come nobody's done this before? Technically they have in many ways. No Man's Land is one way, but there's been a bunch of ways that they've kind of done that. But I feel like this should be a permanent part of what the Gotham story is. Of course, being able to see Batman breaking into the police department to try and find out more about them. Oh, look, they've fractioned off and they've branched off into other cells and things like that. There are people from other like Bloodhaven coming in and doing this also. All of this would be fantastic. I would love to see something like that. This is such an absolutely fantastic idea. Killer Croc in here, his relationship. I was kind of hoping to see Joker and Killer Croc going at it with each other. Instead, we get a different supervillain beatdown, which I'm not complaining about in the slightest, because Harley Quinn almost did become chum, so to speak. This is an amazing case study, my peeps. This is an amazing case study. There's the part in here where, and it's literally one line, it's technically two lines, but one panel, where you see that Joker did actually start to believe it. That moment where Joker was there, but Harley wasn't. What he says, he talks about how, oh, sorry, Harley, I really did try to go my way. It just didn't quite work out. How he says that. I don't want to read it verbatim. I want you guys to be able to read this. I want you to experience this for the first time. It's the moment where I say that Batman was wrong. Because Alfred was there also. And Alfred points something out. It's like, you see those two kissing and hugging each other? It doesn't look like he's completely playing her. It looks like he's actually in love with her also. It looks like they're, here's the line, crazy in love with each other. I'm surprised he didn't just straight out say, that's like mad love. Name drop. But like, the comic book just keeps on getting deeper and deeper. And I love it. This really is a great culmination of everything in the story that we've been reading so far. I'm telling you right now, the biggest injustice to this book would be if DC didn't allow them to have another story, to have another arc in this, to have Harleen Volume 2. God, I would love to see that. I would love, and call it Her Smile, something like that. Whatever. It's not my business. I am going to show you the last page. It's not much of a spoiler or anything like that, but this is... We usually get to talk about the writer's vision and the artist's vision. On the very rare occasion where they are one and the same, my God, man, this is symmetry. This is beautiful symmetry because it's the same person. God, I love this. I want to see her relationship deepen with Pamela Isley. I want to see her, why does she have the white face? Is it the whole body that's white? Does she actually go into the same or similar Ace Chemical vats, that the Joker went into? Is it something else? Does she get scared white? Like, or is it just makeup? Like, what is it? I want to know. These are two things I really want to know. How does she delve further into this? Because like that last page, You see all these different images of her in the mirror. Are we going to see each one of those mirrors get shattered? Are we going to see some of them, just cracked? Are some of them still going to be intact? I want Mr. Sejic to do another one. I don't want him to rush into it unless he's already got the story done. I want him to take his time like he did with this. There are so many different versions of the Joker and quite a few versions of Harley. Just in the comic books alone, we see Harley Quinn. Sometimes she's deadly serious and frightening, and her jokes are like, they're biting and seething with a violence, pent-up aggression. It's like when she makes a joke and she laughs, it's the last thing you're ever going to hear. And then there's also in her regular comic book where she's just silly. You know what I'm saying? And then there's like the TV shows where she's so ridiculously silly. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding me right now? And then there's also the made for kids stuff, which can't be like any of those other ones we were just talking about. There's all these different versions of Harley out there and the Joker and whatnot. And this is just another vision. That's all that this is. Could this be my favorite one of Harley? Yeah, I actually think it might be. It really is great. Just these, this is one of those things, you don't need all these different, you don't need my voice or anybody else's voice in here. Just Harley's, just parts in here of Harley talking about this. You don't need other people talking about, oh, the comic of the year. Oh, an awesome comic book. Oh, this blows me away. No. Just read this, man. Read the book. I don't care which cover you get. Get both covers. You know what I'm saying? Get multiples of each. Honestly, just get the book. Get the book. All three of them are out right now. You want to wait until maybe there's going to be a hardcover coming out pretty soon? Guys, get these 3 books because they are amazing. They're amazing. And honestly, anything that Stefan Sejic will draw, I will read. And now, anything that he writes, I'm going to give that a hot chance. I was going to say a hot shot. Didn't want to go all like Charlie Sheen on you. But anyway, this was a fantastic book. I cannot possibly recommend this book enough. There's more. I like to do deep dives into the books, but I also don't like to give away too much. There's so much more in this. Guys, read this from the first issue to the last. Just read the whole thing straight through and just enjoy the hell out of this. It is surreal and yet grounded at the same time. And that, look, I don't write like that anymore. I just don't write that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Can't imagine if I wrote like that. This would be like finding out that Alan Moore is also a Da Vinci level artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how good this is. Definitely get your hands on these books. They are so worth the ride. And I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.